Peace, YouTube family. I'm here with another episode of Dreamin' with Daja. When I made my first Dreamin' with Daja video, I thought I was gonna make videos for y'all on a consistent basis, but that has not been the case. I actually made like 2 other videos for this that got lost in the sauce, and so I never shared them. But we're back, and I wanna tell y'all about a nightmare I had the other night. It was so scary. So, as I've mentioned in my last video, I lucid dream a lot. I have a lot of, and if you don't know what lucid dreaming is, it's when you're in a dream and you know it's a dream and you can control what you're doing within the dream to a certain extent, right? Like, I don't really try too hard. In fact, usually when I'm lucid dreaming, I'm just trying to be the observer of the dream and bring more awareness to it so I can see, okay, like what is the meaning behind all of this? But this dream was weird because it was crazy, weird dream stuff happening, but I had no idea I was in a dream. It felt so real. It started off, I was in like this grocery store, and I must have just been craving cinnamon rolls because I was just looking at this beautiful cinnamon roll that was like on the shelf, and I was just trying to get it. And I think I ate it in the dream and could even taste it, and I was just really into that. And then the dream cut to me being in the shower, but I was fully dressed. I was wearing like jeans, boots, and like a leather jacket, which I don't even wear leather, but I had like a really heavy outfit on, and I was getting soaking wet. And at that point, I did start to think, this is a little strange. Why am I showering with all my clothes on? So I got out of the shower and I started to take my clothes off after the shower. And I looked in the mirror and I had cut off all my locks. And I had like this little fro, and it was all uneven. It looked like it had just been cut, like maybe I had cut it during the shower. And within the dream, this happens to me a lot too, that I will have a memory within my dreams that is not a memory from this life. It's a memory from my dream life. So I had a memory within the dream of me cutting some locks, but not the whole head. I couldn't remember cutting the whole head. So I was literally looking in the mirror like, oh my God, I cut my hair off. I cut my hair off. And I was like, oh my God, because I've been locked for 4.5 years, more than 4.5 years. So I was in the dream like, oh my God, it's been like 5 years of growing my locks, and I'll have to wait another 5 years for it to get that long again, or even longer. And a part of me was trying to be in acceptance, right? Like I was like, it's gonna be okay, Daja, it's gonna be okay. But I was freaking out. Like when I said this was a nightmare, like I was so utterly disappointed in myself. I was like, why didn't you just leave your hair alone? I was so upset. I hated how it looked. And then in the dream, I left the bathroom, and then suddenly I had a bonnet on, and my best friend Courtney was it was like a hotel room. Like she was in the room. And this was also the weird thing about the dream. Like at first she was sitting in the room with me, and then it transformed to her being on a video call, and I was holding my phone talking to her. But at first, when I first saw her, I was like, Courtney, guess what I did? And she was like, what? And I pulled my bonnet off and showed her my hair, and she was like, oh. And she's like, oh my gosh. She was like, and this is wild, because in real life she would not say no shit like this, because she actually used to have locks and has cut them off and now has short hair. But so maybe that's why I put her in the dream. But she was just like, it don't even look healthy, it looked damaged, like it looks bad. But she basically was telling me it looks bad, and I was like, I know, like I can't believe I did this. Like it's gonna be another 5 years of just waiting and having the patience for my hair to grow again. Like I want my long hair. I don't like my hair like this. And I was looking at it in the mirror, and I was like, ah. And like I had cut it crazy, so like this was kind of low, but then it was really it was longer in the back, and I was like just touching my hair, and I was just like, oh my God, this is so trash. Why did I do this? And then I woke up, and I was like and I immediately touched my head. I had my bonnet on, but I touched my head, and I was like, oh, thank God. And the whole next day after, because this was maybe like 3 days ago, I was just like touching my hair like, I would never cut you. Yeah, it was a really triggering dream. And I think the dream happened because lately I've cut a few of my locks out. Like I found a few, like, you can't tell because I mean, I obviously left most of it, but like a few of my like really thin base locks that I would find whenever I'm plaiting my hair, I just would go in and like clip. I think I've cut out over this experience, maybe like between 10 and 20 locks since I started my journey. And just recently, I've cut out maybe like 6 or 7. So like a lot of them has been more recently. And I just sometimes be in that mood, and I always clip my ends lately, like it's like there's something satisfying about cutting hair. And I was just, before I had this dream, the day before, I was talking to one of my friends about how, now that I've been cutting some of my locks out, I see why people like end up cutting their locks, because it's like kind of satisfying, that feeling of cutting off your hair. And then I had that dream because my psyche wanted to process that idea, this idea of me cutting my hair off and what that would really be like. So I'm so grateful for the dream realm, because it gave me an opportunity to explore that and see that that is not what I want at all. And in fact, it was so devastating that it really reinforced, I'm like, I'm not cutting this shit. Maybe like when I'm old and I'm like done with having hair altogether, but child, that dream scared me. I kept on touching my head like, oh, thank God. Oh, Jesus. No shade to those of you who cut your hair off, because a lot of people cut it off and they look good. But I did not look good, honey. I looked a mess. I looked tragic. So, that was my nightmare. Thank you for listening. I hope to get back with y'all on some more dream updates. Dreaming with Daja.